What we should do before we hit the send for your offer to the listing agent.
Well, we're so excited that you have found the house that you want, right? It's amazing. But let's talk about some reality checks in a little bit of that, because we are in North Carolina. And other states do not have this number one thing we're going to talk about. There are other things, but the number one thing I really want us to focus on is that due diligence fee. It is a fee paid in North Carolina to take the house off the market, to market pending. It is non-refundable, and it is part of the home buying process. So let's just hypothetically make up a number. And these are completely made up. Every house is different. So say you want to buy a house that's $300,000, easy math, and then you put $3,000 down on it because it's 1%, right? That's a very bare minimum, but whatever. You put $3,000 due diligence. That due diligence is going to be due within 24 hours of acceptance of that property. You are not going to get that money back. But it is part. So at closing day, you owe $297,000. So it is part of the purchase price. It's not extra money. It's not a bribe, but it is money we're giving directly to the seller that you cannot get back. Why is that important?
Why is it important? Because it is a North Carolina contract.
It's absolutely.
Therefore, we must put it in the North Carolina contract. And also, that shows that how much serious about your offer that you're putting, and also is part of your financial commitment for the closing on the house at the time of closing.
All very true. We have way more to say before we actually hit send on an offer. But first, I think we need to
Let's hit it.
Hi, it's Alan Victoria. Welcome to our channel podcast.
And if this is your first time in our podcast and YouTube channel, make sure you're subscribing and getting notified.
Also, contact us all the time at 252-327-3357. We love talking to you. Don't be shy. Also, grab our buyer's guide and seller's guide in the description below. What else should we be doing?
The next thing that we wanted to talk after due diligence is really pre-approval checklist. No? That this, we wanted to definitely get in touch with your lender, make sure that everything underwriting, all the documents that they need for your final mortgage approval is on the way.
Right. So you want to cross all your T's, dot all your I's. You want to make sure that they have completely gone through your underwriting, credit. They have gone through underwriting with you. It's not just a surface level pre-approval. They have dug deep in your situation, and they have really ripped apart your credit report and said you are okay to buy this home. What else? And what are those things should I be looking for in my pre-approval?
Is the pre-approval, definitely you wanted to do is your pre-approval is up to date, no?
Right.
Like if you, for example, got pre-approval from your bank a couple months ago, we need to make sure, because all of them, they expire 60 to 90 days.
Right,
no?
and credit, so those interest rates can fluctuate every single second of every single day. So you want to make sure that you can actually afford this home. And if you accounted for all the financial changes like interest rates that have been fluctuating.
Or your credit score.
Your credit score.
Your credit score might fluctuate a lot the last 60 days, you know?
Right, because you opened up a credit report 60 days ago and that didn't hit your credit, but then it's now hitting your credit, and does that affect in some way your home buying ability? So you have to know that before we send that offer.
The next thing is really evaluating the property that you wanted to purchase, no? And we started from needs or wants checklist. No?
Right. So again, we're going to go back to, it might be the most beautiful house you've ever seen, and it is something that you're like, this is so gorgeous, I love it, I love it, I love it. But we need to make sure that it does meet your essential needs. So if you need to be at work and you need to be at work and you're on call and you have to be at work within 10 minutes of being on call, so you get the call and you have to be somewhere 10 minutes away, does that home allow you to wake up in the middle of the night, to go 10 minutes to work and be there when they call you, if that is who you are? So you have to look, that's just one need. So if you are in a very specific situation, does it meet all of your needs though? So it might not be that, but would your kids go to the school you want? All of these questions really do have to come into place. So it's not just gorgeous, does it fit your needs?
Therefore, to me, it's like really prioritizing your need and wants, and make sure that's what you want. The next thing is really location and practicality, that my wife somehow dig into it, like the example that she met, and definitely is anything that is related to that property. If you're accessing your school for the kids, or getting a grocery amenities, or your job place, anything that is related, if it works for you or not.
From next one, we're going to talk to you about when we go back to our financials in a way. We're talking to our lender to make sure that this home aligns with the budgetary concerns that you had. So if you said, I want a home that's going to be, and it doesn't take long, this is literally a 10-second conversation maybe. What would be, give me a rough estimate of what my monthly mortgage payment would be if I buy this home. You want to stay to your budget, because if they come back at you and give you a very different number than you are planning, that is a red flag that maybe this is not the home for you. So we should not send the offer even though we were wowed with it. We want to stick to our budget as much as possible. So just really be concerned with that.
The next thing is have you ever considered additional costs, like if the house needs the maintenance or repairs, or also something simple like a utility bills.
Or it could even be more simple than that. Maybe this is 2 acres of land. How are you going to mow the lawn of 2 acres of land? Mm-hmm. You know, I have a lot of people who tell me I want an acre, but how are you mowing that if you have a full-time job and 2 full-time jobs at that? So you might come home to your acre, but what are you going to do with it if you can't take care of it? So you want to kind of understand what the cost is, so at least somebody out there is mowing your lawn if you're working all those hours.
In the budget alignment, we wanted to talk also your financial planning. What is about the financial planning?
You have to make sure that we have talked about closing costs. You know what all of your fees are, all the costs are, what are the expenses of that home going to be? Maybe it is a huge acre and you're going to have a lawn guy, and how much are those lawn guys that the people are already paying? You want to know. Also, you need to know what do we think? What does your lender believe is going to happen with the interest rates in the next 30 days while you're buying this home?
Exactly.
Property taxes are a little bit more stable. We understand that they are going through an issue they're going through the reevaluation right now, but generally speaking, after that, they stay stable for a while.
Exactly. The next thing that we wanted to talk about is really appraisal and expectation about the value assessment by the third party that banks or your lender is going to hire.
Right, because your bank wants to make sure that you're getting the house that you want. Your realtor wants to make sure that you're getting the house that you want. So it's really a third-party appraisers come in and say, is this house actually going to be worth the value for this home? Does the value affect the long-term loan terms for this home? And they do have a right to know lots of things.
Exactly. The next thing is basically realtor and lender insight that we wanted to talk. Are your
we can do a BPO. We can tell you what we would sell that house for. We can do a market analysis 100% of realtors. We can say, well, you know, these houses sold in this area and this house is in the expected range. This is what the house should be. So you should have we can give you what we would sell that house for. Yeah. If we in the future were listing agents and we had flipped the reverse, but we're telling it to you so you can see, does it match? Does it align?
My wife said BPO. I just want to say that is broker price opinion if you're wondering what is that BPO was. And the next thing is preparing for your appraisal outcome, which is you can do some stuff upfront, due diligence with your real estate agent, and make sure that your offer is what you wanted to put and is based off the comps in that area, but also be ready for what the banks is going to tell you when they collected all the information for appraisal.
Okay, so there's also this. There's 3 things that will happen if the appraisal comes in low. You can either lose your due diligence money, walk away. We can ask for the price to go down, or you're going to come up with the money. Those are the end of the result, the 3 outcomes.
Therefore, bank definitely is not going to cover. Let's say you're buying a $300,000 house and appraisal came with the $290,000. Therefore, we have $10,000 difference. No, as my wife said, if you are basically wanted to do this, if you wanted to still to buy a house, you need to cover that $10,000 because the bank is not going to give you loan for that $10,000.
But we have also, for many clients, when the appraisal came in low, went to them and said, "Hey, this is what the appraisal is. Here is the appraisal. We need the price to negotiate. This is the appraisal. So we're going to try that." So we definitely help our clients all the time. So you want to make sure you're having someone on your side to be there in case that doesn't happen. And that's a conversation you should have before you hit send.
And now we're going to the good part, which is the offer review. No? And you wanted to make sure that you reviewed all the terms and conditions with your real estate agent before you submit your offer. No?
And are you comfortable with everything that we have been talking about in this offer? The attorney, the dates, everything matters. So you have to tell us what it is. And then also look.
The last minute overlook. What we should do the last.
Is there anything you might have forgotten to do before we made this offer? So you want to just make sure that you have, gone through this and made sure everything is okay with this. And your understanding, again, you're going to lose money if you back out of a deal. So make sure that you understand your legal conditions, your financial implications. So you owe money the second you are accepted.
Exactly. And don't forget to call us at 252-327-3357. Alan Victoria here. We'd love to connect with you. And also, don't forget to write us comment and share with us your thought. See you in the next podcast and video.